Hi guys, it's Sarah from isweariamstitching. Today is April, yes, April 21st. It's a Friday. I'm not back to regularly recording yet, but I thought I'd pop in. Beagle moved. Because I have a lot of Quirky Quakers stacked up I'd like to put away. So, thought I'd pop in. If I'm sitting weird with this arm elevated a lot, it's because I have a spot right about here where my stitches, where my incision opened up because my compression bra I'd been wearing rubbed a big old scab off, and so yeah, now it's hurting, and I'm trying not to use that arm very much more than this range of motion. So not a lot of very high up, not a lot of doing stuff. I drove one day and then I haven't driven since because that takes too much of my left arm. So it's a lot of right arm, left arm hanging out, usually holding my little 4-inch Q-snap like this while I stitch. That's usually what she's doing. And I will switch to my 4-inch Q-snap because, again, little projects, and I gave away my hoop, which I'll tell you about later. Sorry, itch. Okay, so I guess I should do that whole thing where you explain where you're at if this is your first time. Hi, I'm Sarah. This is the Flosstube where I talk about cross stitch. I also knit and quilt, but I don't do those nearly as much. So, and then after I recently had arm lifts and torso-plasty after massive weight loss from bariatric surgery. So I also stand and sit like this a lot. So that's why I've been absent a bunch, and why I'm have an incision, and why I'm not sewing, because this movement not good. And I was knitting a lot right after surgery, but once I discovered I could cross stitch, knitting got pushed back again, so I haven't worked on my socks in a while. Okay, so that's your first time here. That's the lowdown. If you're returning, you know all that. Good to see you. Here's my iced coffee with my protein shake in it. So let's get to it. I have one whip. And there's also a haul. I won this pattern from Marumi Crafts. I'm so itchy. I won that from her recently. Astro, the Halloween cat from Pixel Pixie Cross Stitch, and I thought it fitted. It was like, it came amidst all my Quirky Quaker stitching, and I thought that it goes perfectly with the Quirky Quakers. It's roughly the same size, but because it's on dark fabric in here and it's got bright colors, I thought I'll do it on dark fabric too. Which means that I'm struggling with it because my old lady eyes, my tired eyes, oh my god, it's so hot, aren't enjoying it. So this is like a last minute thing, guys, so I'm not at all prepared. So bear with me. This is 32 count Belfast linen in Shadow by Picture This Plus. I'm using Forbidden Fiber Co. in Plum Dandy and Classic Colorworks in Bamboo, Lobster Claw, and Bean Sprout. And so far I just have the head and a couple tentacles, and I'm pretty sure I already messed up a tentacle, but I don't care enough to fix it because they're tentacles. They can be wonky. But yeah, so I started that like on the 13th. I worked on it for like a day or two, and I was like, no, my eyes, I can't sit here at my desk and do it. I sit at the couch with the window open, so it has to be just the right amount of sun, and it has to be comfortable. And before my arm thing, I could do it, but now like I'm sitting on the couch, I have to kind of prop my arm on a pillow. So yeah, it's a whole ordeal. So this thing, even though it's small and should stitch up in like 2 days like all my other Quirky Quakers, it's gonna take me a long time. That's my only whip. And part of the reason I like doing the Quirky Quakers is they are small, they fit into my little hoop, and they fit into a little 4-inch Q-snap. And there's not a lot of fabric, and I can work on it for not big chunks of time, but still feel like I've gotten a lot done. So I don't feel like I'm just slogging away at something and not showing progress. So it's nice. So now I'll show you all of my, that's not a Quirky Quaker, neither is this. I did a couple other things that weren't Quirky Quakers. What did I have last? Oh my god. I think, okay, so, did I have the whale last time? No, I did not. Okay, so whale. Sorry, I'm looking at my thing to make sure I show you the right ones. Snail and butterfly. Yeah, you already saw it puffing, right? Yeah, okay. That. Reindeer. I told you it's a lot. Is that the ghost? Did I have the ghost done last time? Nope. About, I had these in order, and then I was showing my kid them, and things got all sorts of out of order. I think I showed you the snail, pride. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right. Back to my little planner. Page 46. I also got a new planner. So, not planners. I've been using these for like a couple years. These are my craft journals. I like them because they had, and you list everything here, put a sketch, I didn't do that. And then here, notes, I usually put, like when I'm done with a project, I'll take a picture and put it there. It was big, I could write everything I needed, like for quilt patterns or quilt projects. This one does not have a quilt project in it apparently. I could write all the, you know what? I know these have quilts in them because I've done quilts. I've made quilts. What the fudgy buckets? Of all things, fudgy, right there. Wow. I don't know what is going on with my brain, you guys, other than hot. This is disappointing to me that, I mean, it's not even that big of a deal. I can just write everything important, like how, like, there's enough room for me to write how big the quilt is, what thread, pattern, quilting pattern I want from Missouri Star Quilt, when I sent it, the quilt top, if I'm having them bind it, trim it, and send it back when I buy it. It's a great room to put all the information on. So anyways, that's what I was using. And then I ran out of space. So I went to order another one, and they no longer had this. They had this version, which is smaller, but set up the same. Just gives me less room to do stuff. And then, well, doing my Quirky Quakers, I ran out of room here. They don't have this anymore. All of this is Amazon. So I got this one. And so far it's okay. I mean, it's got roughly the same stuff. And then I'll probably glue a picture here and I'll call it. But it is nice there's no sketch box here, so I can put all the information here and then put a photo of my finished stuff there. All I have to say is I've got like some projects are long term, so I have like 4 of these laying around right now, so I have to constantly try to remember which one they're in. So that's why I go back and forth a lot. Sorry, my friends. Let's get to it. All right, so, and these all literally take me 1 to 2 days, except for the last Quaker I did, and I'll tell you why when I get to it. So here is Quirky Quaker. These are all Quirky Quakers by Darling and Whimsy Designs, and I was using taking it as an opportunity to use fancy flosses. I just reach in here and grab our colors I think look nice. So this is 32 count. And scrap fabric. I have you know, pieces of fabric that aren't very big that I found I can use for 1 or 2 Quakers, and then using fabric I'm not a big fan of, like the Fangirl Fibers linen I got from the Haunted America Advent or whatever it was called. Anyways, this is 32 count linen by Fangirl Fibers, no name or anything. I use Classic Colorworks and Polywog, and thread dyed from Kaylee. No, that's not right. That's Butterfly. Oh. You guys, I apologize. It still is 32 count linen from Fangirl Fibers. I use Gentle Arts in Swamp Monster and Classic Colorworks in Bamboo. He was one of my favorites to stitch. I love that snail so much. Look at those mushrooms. Oh, and that white really does, I hate stitching with white, but that white really does pop. Like, I will never buy fancy floss white. What's the friggin' point? So when I get it, like, I think I got this bamboo and thread club. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna use that on anything white in any of these Quakers because it's white. Who gives a shit? But look how cute he is. I love him so much. He's one of my favorites. And then the next one is, again, 32 count fiber from Fangirl Fibers. This one is the classic Colorworks and Polywog and thread dyed by my friend Kaylee from Kaylee Tent Stitch on YouTube. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. There it goes. He's on the same fabric. That's why I confused myself. Look how cute that butterfly is. She dyed the pinky purple stuff. That's so pretty, Kaylee. I love this butterfly. I know I really probably should have gone with a darker brown or maybe even a different color because the elements in the wing kind of get lost. I don't care. These are all going to be little pillows for my dough bowl. Kaylee suggested that I make these all into a quilt. And while I love that idea, I also love that I will have a ton of little tiny pillows to put in my dough bowl, which is so empty. Cute. All right. Next is oh, he's adorable. I love him. The Raccoon. It's on 36 count Edinburgh linen in Dapple by Picture This Plus. I used Gentle Arts in Dracula's Cloak, Classic Colorworks in Baking Tin, and then just good old 310. He's so cute. His face like, from a distance, I don't know, his face pops. Isn't as blended further away, but oh, he's so cute. I love this one too. I loved working on the snail the most. I'm not sure why. Okay. And then we got, let's see, the Quirky Quaker. Which one is this? The Whale. And this is on 32 count Belfast linen by Picture This Plus in Tarnish. And I use Gentle Arts in, I think, tan. I don't know if it has a name, but it's a tan color. And Starlight Stitchery in Descent into the Maelstrom. I love him so much. I did not like stitching with that tan though. It was like, usually I don't like my light stitches to begin with, especially on white. But tan usually isn't too bad, but this one was, oh, something was off. Oh, I should have mentioned. What did I start with? The Snail was 2/2. The Butterfly was 2/2. The Raccoon was 1/1, and this is 2/2. Oh, he's so cute. I love that Descent in the Maelstrom. I think I'm saying it right. Starlight Stitchery, beautiful threads. He's so cute. And then, oh. The Squirrel. Oh, he's adorable. This is 32 count Lugana in Harvest Moon by Color and Cotton. I use Gentle Arts in Werewolf Fur, and then a DMC and another Kaylee dyed thread. She dyed the greens. Look how cute that squirrel is and how bright that green is. This just screams spring to me. I cannot wait to finish this and pop it in my dough bowl. Hopefully I can sew before summer. If not, it'll be there next year. So cute. That's 2/2 as well. Look at those little tiny acorns. So stinking cute. Okay, so that's enough of that book. Move on to the next book. Oh, this one. Again, I hate stitching with white, but I think my guy turned out pretty well. So this is the Ghost from Quirky Quaker Designs. No, nope. Darling and Whimsy Designs. This is on 16 count Ada in Gothic by Picture This Plus, and it's 2/1 using just DMC for the black, and then Classic Colorworks in Baby Chick, which is actually a very bright light yellow, but in person it's not really yellowy. And then I thought, you know what, I kind of like the idea of a little yellowy ghost. Like maybe he's old and been around a while. Look how cute he is. I love this one too. I love most of them. I mean, even the one I didn't like stitching on, I love. They're all adorable. And then this one is the reindeer. Oh my god, he's so cute. Okay. Tired of hearing that? This is on 32 count Lugana in a red and green. It's a scrap. I think I got it from a Stitchy box a couple Christmases ago. And I use Classic Colorworks and Steamed Broccoli and Week Styleworks in Turkish Red. Look how cute. I did not give him the red nose because I didn't want him to be Rudolph. I just wanted him to be a reindeer. But this one was a lot of fun to stitch too. It's too bad I don't really particularly like Week Styleworks because that Turkish Red's a good red, but it's in stash, so I used it. So cute. This is 1/2. That steamed broccoli is one of my favorite grains. And then this one is the bat, which is so cute, but you're probably not gonna be able to see the color very well. So this is on a 28 count linen in Witch's Brew by Lap and Loops. I use Dying for Sass and Persephone for the thread, and it's a variegated dark purple. Well, I guess you can kind of see the variegation, huh? A little bit. In person, it's a lot more noticeable. I love it on that fabric. That was a quick one. They're all quick. Some feel quicker. This one felt like it stitched up in no time. And then, oh, this one, he's adorable. This is, did I say that bat was 2/2? It's 2/2. This is also 2/2 on a 32 count Belfast linen in tarnish. It is the fox. I used thread dyed by Kaylee and some like browns and oranges, and he's so cute. Oh my god, look how perfect that thread was for him. It's a little brighter on screen, I think. But look how cute he is. Oh my god, I love him so much. That was another fun. Oh my god, stop saying that, Sarah. They're all fun. You know what was fun? Stitching him. That's Godzilla holding the chocolate bunny from years and years and years and years ago. Anyways. Squirrel. That is my fox. He's on the fabric with the whale. And then I had one Quirky Quaker left, and I kind of panicked. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do after that? So I went and looked through a bunch of my downloaded patterns that I have saved on my computer from, Jesus, the last 12 years or so. And I found this adorable little springtime cactus. And I didn't have who it was from, but I know it was free off the internet. And when I tried to find it again recently, the picture comes up. When you click on it, there's like the link's dead. But springtime cactus, 1/1, 36 count Edinburgh linen and dapple, and I just used like assorted DMCs that I just grabbed out of my little stash over here. Look at those tiny cactuses. Are they cute? I honestly don't know what I'm gonna make this into, because if I just did, you know me, I'm not fancy with my pillows. I usually just sew around like that and make a pillow. If I do that, that's gonna be the world's smallest little pillow, and that'll be annoying. Like, so I don't know if I'm gonna, I have cactus fabric, but it's blue cactuses. So I thought maybe I might get some cactus fabric and like make a longer, add a little bit here, and make it like kind of a taller pillow for my double. But I don't know if the blue cactus fabric will go with my green cactus. Look how cute this, oh my gosh. You want it fast? This was like a couple hours. Oh god, stop lifting that arm up so high. This was like a couple hours. I just reached in, grabbed some threads nearby that I had around, I don't even know what numbers they are. But like I said, I panicked because I had one Quaker left. And then that finished up so quickly that the same day I started my last Quaker, which was the Cauldron, which probably took me the longest. It took me almost 3 days. Whereas the other ones took me just 2. Because I friggin' hate stitching swirls. So this is 1/1. I used DMC black, and I use a yellow green thread dyed by Kaylee, which is perfect for this pattern. It's so awesome. And this is 36 count linen in Vanilla Latte by Stitch Me. That's also probably why I didn't enjoy this. Oh gosh. Sorry, give me a second. Gotta pull my compression bra down. It's digging up into my... Okay, sorry about that. Whoa, okay. That's moving that arm around. I was in Stitch Me's Fabric of the Month Club, and I loved it. She's a dying genius. Beautiful fabrics. But one linen I got, the Vanilla Latte, I absolutely hated working with. It is, for some reason, like, it's so loose. It's so... I just hate stitching on this. I'm not sure. I used it for a project and I kept the scraps, and I'm not sure why. Because I'm a hoarder. I know why. But, you know, I thought it'd be perfect for this pattern, and then as I'm stitching it, I'm hating almost every minute of it because I don't like the fabric. And then I got to the swirls, and I'm like, great, I don't like the fabrics, and I don't like swirls. The only thing that kept me going was honestly Kaylee's beautiful threads, because they look fantastic in this pattern. Look, okay, I'm trying to not lift my other arm up. Look at that. I mean, the DNC I probably should have done, it's 1/1, I probably should have done 2/2. Because again, this 36 count linen is a bit open, a bit more like, look, you can tell how loose it is. But, and I hate doing swirls. And then I messed up my counting on the fumes, which I don't care, who cares, or fumes. But I absolutely love the finished result. I just didn't enjoy stitching it. It took me a while. So yeah. Oh, I love it so much. Gosh, I love Kaylee. She's awesome. All right, those are my Quirky Quakers. And then the 19th, I was like, well, maybe I'll knit or something, because I gave in and ordered the Quirky Quaker Mythical Creatures set triple. It's got 3 patterns in it. I really didn't want to buy anything, and I have other small things. I could have gone through my stash, gone back onto my download patterns, and I'm sure I could have found something small. But I was like, I want those Quirky Quakers. So yeah, so I ordered the Mythical Creatures. And I'm just gonna tell you something. The day I ordered the Mythical Creatures, I went on Instagram, and Darling and Whimsy Designs posted 3 new Quirky Quaker patterns. So the only good thing is there's one that I know I will not stitch unless the completionist in me peeks out her head, because yes, it's the cow. I do not want to stitch the cow. So I'm going to go through the ones I don't have, because you've seen I have like fucking 30 of these things. Okay, not maybe that much, but I have a lot stitched up. I still have the Elrich to get, the owl, the seahorse, the ornament, the stocking, the penguin, the Xmas tree, the hedgehog, the queen bee, the moose, the skeleton, the sheep, the ladybug, the frog, and now the pig, chickens, and cow. And the chickens is 2. It's 2 patterns, 2 chickens. So that's a lot of patterns. And out of all of them, the one I know I will not stitch unless, again, the completionist in me comes out, is the cow. And then there are 3 that I probably won't buy until I'm done with everything else, because I like them, but I like them the least. It's the ornament, the Xmas tree, and the queen bee. I'm just not a big bee person. So, but it's pretty. So I will stitch those 3 eventually. They'll just be the last 3 I ever buy. So that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more I have to buy. Oh, and the Mythical Creatures I got has a unicorn, Bigfoot, and Nessie, Loch Ness Monster. But what's nice is Bigfoot, if I just stitch him white instead of brown and add some blues, then I also have a Yeti. I saw that on Instagram. So basically 4 patterns for the price of 3. So that's my list of what I have to buy. The Quirky Quakers I have to collect. So what was I talking about? I don't even know. Oh, but I caved and I got out my notebook of patterns, and I found a small that I knew would fit in my 4-inch without having to undo it a lot. I undid it once just to get the very tip of the tail because I didn't have it centered right. But this is Mermaid and Ocean Friends from Wild Violet Cross Stitch 2/2. I used 32 count Belfast linen in tarnish. I use Bestitch Me Silks in April Showers and Tuscan, and Dinky Dyes Silk and Minty Fresh. She does not pop as well on screen. She pops a lot better in person. Yeah, a lot better in person. Look at that April Showers blue, so beautiful. I'm not one who, I far prefer to stitch with cottons. And after doing some Quirky Quakers and some other projects recently, I realized my issue with silk is I do not like using it 1/1. 2/2 like this, so much better. I enjoyed it 100 times more. And this brings me to why I don't no longer have a hoop. My bonus child, up in college right now, texted me and she said, is cross stitch like sewing? And I said, yeah. Needle, thread, stab, stab, stab. Said there's also a sewing method you can do, where you know, in hand usually, or like I do, like have a hoop or a Q-snap and I stab. And so she said that she was thinking of trying it. So I sent her some videos online, and then told her, you know, just run over. She's a Portrait College student. I said, run over to Joann's or Michael's when you get a chance, and get just an easy little kit. Give that a try. And then I said, plus I have a shit ton of supplies, so next time you're down, I can help you. We can work on something. She got excited. So, like, minutes after texting, I was like, I'm gonna make her my own kit. So I printed out instructions on learning how to cross stitch. After I finished this, I sent her, I put this pattern, reprinted it because I make working copies and highlight. So I sent her that pattern, how to cross stitch, a 14 count piece of purple linen, threads, a needle, my hoop, my little hoop, and I packed it up and had my kid ship the next day. So, and I put a little note, said I'm always here, text me, send me pictures, just like when she learned to knit, she would text me all the time and send me pictures, and I'll walk her through it. So I'm excited. I may have gotten us a new cross stitcher in the world, you guys. Bringing the young blood in. Plus, I can't wait to see how hers turns out, because she's gonna do hers on purple Ada with basically blue green and like a red brown. Can't remember the DMC colors I used. Sent her, and I think that's it. That is, no, I lied. Did I even put this in my? I did it. Nope, I didn't. I did it last night. Last minute, I was watching. We started rewatching The Dead Zone with Michael Anthony Hall, and I was trying to finish an episode, and I was like, well, I can't just sit here. So I brought up a Barbara Anna pattern, Happy Easter, I think it was called, and I just picked out a little element from it and made a magnet to go on my door. There's one little Easter magnet there. It's just one of the little chicks from, I think, Happy Easter. It's on 14 count plastic canvas, and I used just random bits of silk. I think the green is Dinky Dyes, blue is Bestitch Me. It's that blue I used on the mermaid. And the red and yellow is Karen Water Lilies. And I used 3 strands. So I enjoyed stitching with the silk again more because it was more strands. I do not like one strand silk. Look how cute she is. Oh, she's so cute. I'll pop her up here real quick so I don't forget to put her on my door. There's another on the pattern. There's 2 looking at each other. One's got a blue bow. I may do that, but I think my I think my Quirky Quakers are being delivered today, so I may just jump right into those. I will jump right into those. Who are we kidding? All right, that was a lot. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 projects, you guys. Granted, they're small, but that's 13 things. And then Astor the cat, my whip, and then my socks whip. That's my couch where my socks are at. All right. Now we'll go on to haul. So I got my, oh no, it's on the ground. I gotta bend. Oh, okay, sorry. I got my Fat Quarter Floss Fix. It had Barn Door, Barrel Cactus, Bean Sprout, Bejeweled, Bella Rosa, and Betty Bluebell. Very pretty colors. That Bejeweled is gorgeous. And then my Maroon Me Crafts thing. Oh wait, what's this thread? Oh, it's Bella Rosa, fell out. Okay. She also sent me a card and an adorable needle minder that she made. Look at that pretty card that I was saving. I don't know if she knows, but I collect buttons. So this is like my perfect needle minder. So now that I've shown it, I can use it. So excited. I'm gonna put it right here. Then I showed you my craft journal. And then I got a couple patterns. I ordered, well, the main reason I ordered Quirky Quakers is because, again, I needed them. And B, because I was watching Janet from Janet Jabber, and she was talking about Pumpkin Creek Primitives Never Forget DNA Dough Project pattern that you buy and it goes to charity. And I was like, well, I have to buy that. And stupid me, for some reason, it's like, well, I can't buy one pattern. So I bought the Quirky Quakers, and that was a PDF. I didn't have to buy the Quakers, but I'm happy I did. So it is the Never Forget DNA Dough Project. Remember the Forgotten. And I'll read you the thing that came with it. It says, this chart is extra special. I designed it with a cause in mind, the DNA Dough Project. With every purchase of this pattern, I will donate $4 to the DNA Dough Project's general fund. I think the pattern's like $5, so that's a good amount of donation. The first case I donated to is one that is dear to my heart. She was found on Valentine's Day in 1975, about 5 miles from where I currently live. She is an African-American female, 5'4", and approximately 132 pounds. They believe she died in the fall of '74. Her case was fully funded in November 2022. A DNA profile was extracted and uploaded to GED Match. Currently, her case is being researched by investigative genetic genealogists. I just think it's a fantastic organization to support, so I had to buy it. Plus, it's pretty. Look at that. There's a floss pack too you can order. I didn't do that. I'm just gonna use whatever threads I want. In those colors though, because I like the colors. And then because next month is like Mental Health Awareness Month, I think, or at least people are stitching for mental health, I bought a pattern that I don't have the cover sheet for. It's called It's Okay, and it says it's okay to not be okay. It's from Sad Girl Stitches on Etsy. I'm gonna it's basically one of those patterns that has like the floral design, like in a circle, and then back stitch just says that. I'm gonna make it into a little pillow for my dough bowl, or maybe I'll put it on my wall and have it up all the time, because it's a good message. It's okay to not be okay. Speaking as someone who has depression and comes from family with a history of depression and suicide and anxiety, very much a good thing to acknowledge that it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to get help. It is okay to not talk about it when you're not ready. It's okay to seek help, and it's okay to be open about it, because mental health is health, and you should take care of yourself and others. So that's my purchases. I'm going to show you guys a picture that I found, but I don't have the pictures of the, maybe I'll wait till next time. Well, this is a picture of my wall in high school. Part of my wall, but right there, I'm gonna get close so I don't lift that arm. That's a really big cross stitch of teddy bears, and I tried to find that pattern online, and all I could find was Dimensions Teddy Bear Reunion from like 1990 something, but it doesn't look like the one I stitched. Like, I can vaguely remember it, and I can vaguely see them there, and I feel like there's too many teddy bears in that one, so I need to send my mom a picture and ask her if that's the one, because I'm sure I didn't have her send that to me in Ohio when I moved back in '99. I think I was like, I'm too old for teddy bears. I'm moving in with a man. Yeah, I was 19. And then right here, that little tiny frame. It's funny, as soon as I saw it, I knew what it was. It's a stamped kit of a girl on a carousel horse, and I actually found that online from like, it's a Dimensions kit from like 1990. It's stamped. Oh, it's so 90s cheesy classic. But yeah. If I remember to get those pictures up, I'll bring them up on my iPad next time. I'll show you. Let's see, what else? So I've been watching a lot of stuff, because that's what I do right now, since I don't leave my house very much and I can't do anything, and that's my life. I watched Recipes for Love and Murder. That was on, I think, Netflix. It's like a South African show. I enjoy it. I like a good cheesy murder show. And it has given me a bunch of South African recipes to try, because every time they talk about some sort of South African recipe, I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I Google it and print it out. So now I'm going to make some South African food when I can cook again. I watched 42 Days of Darkness, which left me so disappointed. So then I had to Google, and it's based off of true crime, which ended the same way. So I'm like, it was disappointing. I watched Case Histories. I watched my Studio Ghibli Princess Mononoke. It's my favorite Ghibli movie. And then I watched Andromeda Strain from the 70s. I freaking love that movie. And then I was watching it on a free app on my Roku TV, and I watched it. And then my dogs were like, we have to pee. So I took them out to pee, and I came back in, that, I think it's called Tubi, was like, you know what you should watch next? Goonies. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. So I put my blanket up, and I was like, let's watch Goonies. That's one of my favorite movies. And it's funny, because as I was watching it, my kid kept looking at me from the kitchen. And then finally she's like, are you text-to-speeching, or are you doing the movie? And I'm like, girl, I'm doing the movie. I had that thing memorized. And then Flosstube. Obviously, I've watched a lot of Flosstube. I watched Natasha from Britches Get Stitches, Cam from Cam the Stitcher, Michaela from Cinematic Stitches, and the Cinematic has a 3 where the E is, Ellen from Make Do Maker, Mel from Wordy Stitches, Brandy and Emma from B&E Stitchery, Deborah at Kensington Cross Stitch, Savannah at Savvy and Stitches, and Carla at Stitch Me Sane. I would like to give blurbs about all of them, explain why I like them, but I do. Like, I also watched a couple other, like 1 or 2 episodes of other channels that I was like, no, they're just, you can't like everybody. So I would just move on, and I wouldn't write them down. But these are the people that I have thoroughly enjoyed. I have subscribed, and I will continue to watch them. I really do like these people. I started watching somebody, but I can't remember. I'm only 1 episode in, and I think I'm going to keep watching her, but I can't remember. I think she's Dutch. That's all I remember. I literally started watching her last night at like 2 a.m. So, what else? Okay. Life. Almost 5 weeks out of surgery. I have my follow-up on Monday. Hopefully this issue over here is better, or they do something to address it. I don't know. Like I said, I think I said this on Instagram. I had the same thing happen with my C-sections. Okay, so I'm gonna stand up. Okay, so when I had my babies, I was 300 and something pounds. So my C-section scar, where is it? Way down there. It's here, right there. So my C-sections were vertical and not horizontal. Because of my weight, my doctor is like, this will be a better option for you. But as you can see, I'll show you again, my jeans fall right where the incision is. So at the time I wasn't wearing jeans, I was wearing black stretchy pants. But the waistband rubbed on, after my second C-section, rubbed on a spot, rubbed spot open, it popped open a little bit. And it just took a little longer to heal and blah, blah, blah. And it was fine. I just left an ugly scar, but I don't care. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here. It's right here, and like right under my armpit, like right about here. So if it leaves an ugly scar, I don't care. Who's going to see that? Like, the only time anyone's ever going to see that is if I'm wearing a dress that goes down here or a bathing suit, and I don't have enough care in me that people are like, ew, look at an ugly scar. Fuck off, I don't give a shit. My body. So hopefully it just has to heal and scab over again, and hopefully everything's fine. I mean, it's not to be gross or anything. It's not oozing anything. It's not hot. It doesn't feel infected. So that's good. Okay, so that's my update on my surgery. What else? I'm supposed to go back to work May 3rd. I don't want to go. But this arm is not very useful right now, so we'll see by May 3rd. If it's still not useful, I may buy a sling just so I can rest my arm in it like that while I'm at work, and make the point to not use it if it's still this way by then. We'll find out. We'll see, I mean. What else? I think that's it for life. My kids are approaching their last month of school. They graduate in May. That's it. That's all I got for you. I have reached 400 subscribers though, so that's cool. So I'm going to do a giveaway. this is my bag of patterns that I'm done with. So I'm gonna reach in and grab one and see what you're gonna get. Oh shit, no, that's a pattern I was saving for a friend. Let's try that again. All right. Ugh. Plum Street Samplers, Earthly Treasures. Mine's up, you can't see it. Dwell not on earthly treasure, nor covet or envy or pout. Thou entered this world and brought nothing in, and will carry with thee nothing out. So if you want that pattern, please be 18, because I'm not a creeper and I don't want to get in trouble for getting your mailing address. Be in the US. Sorry, shipping is such a pain right now, and I'm not driving to the post office and sending my kid, so it's just easier if I can send her there with stuff that's mailed to the US. I am sorry. I will probably, I don't use a lot of floss drops. Every now and then I do. So I have this stash of floss drops. So I'll probably grab 2 or 3 or something and pop them in here with this. Maybe I'll get one of the silks I don't use very often. Or often, I've never used because I don't use silks very often. We'll see, I don't know. This and 2 of these say, I don't know. I'm so bad at this. Just do the number 1. Right, type out the physical number 1. Okay, and then when I was going through my patterns looking for something small to do, when I found my Wild Violet, I also weeded out some patterns I'm not gonna stitch. Some were free, so I just threw them away. But then I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna stitch this Fox, Glove, and Crow, A Toast for Edgar. It was in a Edgar Allan Poe box. I mean, I think it's great, but man, just the thought of stitching those books, no thank you. So if you want this pattern, toss in a couple floss drops. Just do the number 2. Again, US only, please. Don't say giveaway and all that other crap. You know the rules. You've been here. I'm sure you've seen a lot of giveaways. Because that's a lot of floss tubers do, because especially me, when it comes to patterns, I just like to pass them because they're such a pain to list to sell that it's not even really worth it. I mean, unless it's a hard to find pattern that I'm gonna get like 20 bucks for. I mean, they're like $5 and I gotta mail it, and then I'm like, I'm too lazy for that. All right, that's me, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I don't know when I'll be back to regularly posting on Tuesdays. Obviously not next Tuesday because that's like 3-4 days away. But I will see you guys around. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks so much for coming back. Thanks for putting up with me. I know I'm all over the place. If you want continued updates on stitching and surgery, you can always find me on, like it's behind me, you can always find me on Instagram as Eat My Oxygen. I post there all the time because I'm pathetic. But I will see you guys around. Bye.